Okay, I'm going to continue giving an introduction to the command line. I got interrupted when my video crashed. My video capture webcam crashed. Anyway, so we're going to include this put sprite. So sprite put. It defaults to C++. And we need a semicolon, actually. That's kind of, you wouldn't notice that. Anyway, so it sent sprites to the command line. You can also come up on, normally what you do, you hit Control M, then you go to the macro that you want. In this case, we want demo graphics. And then we come up off the bottom and we hit Enter, and then we hit Include. And it's really painless. It's painless. You don't have to type anything. You just use cursors. So so someone was asking about headers. You'll notice there's no header file. There's no include headers in here. That's because if you type who, these are all the symbols in your symbol table. They're not your symbols. They're your they're atoms. Task rep. So on CPU 0, there's Adam and his children. These are the tasks. We have the window manager. We have two command line. And anyway, you inherit the symbols of your parent. Each task has a symbol table. So if we want to, if we say who, I think it's minus little r. I think it's minus little r. Then we have these are the symbols in our table. The rest of them are in our parent. And if we really want to see the whole thing, we say doc max for that's infinite command buffer. And then we say who, and this is all the symbols in the symbol table. So Adam is the father of all tasks. If you go to the kernel, when it boots, it runs startup, and start changes from real mode. It calls a couple BIOS routines, changes to long mode, and right in the middle of here, jump to kernel main, and kernel main is in kernel end. This initializes. This is Adam, the first task. And when he finishes, what he does is he loads the compiler, and then he starts He starts compiling. Everything's compiled, not interpreted. He starts compiling this file in the root directory called Adam. So if we go to the root directory, there's a file called Adam, and that's this is filling up the Adam task symbol table. And if it doesn't find a symbol, it searches the parent, and all the tasks have Adam as a parent, Adam and Eve. And anyway, so this includes. You'll notice if you look on here, there's 45,900 lines of code that have been compiled. What that means is, if we go to the Adam task, if we go to the root directory, the Adam file, and if we put echo, I'm going to put echo here, and then I'm going to do I do a soft reboot, not a hard. I don't do a hard reset. What I do is I just restart the kernel. This freshens up all the fragmented memory, and it's just a fun thing to do. So RAM reboot. Now in this case, I told it to echo. So this is the 49,000 lines of code that get compiled during boot, but that's with the echo on. With echo off, it takes half a second. So I'm going to go back to the root directory, and we're going to do a reboot. I'm going to turn echo back off. Okay, now I'm going to reboot with echo off. Boom, it only takes half a second. So now I have hotkeys for compiling my kernel. This is the other half. Boom, that compiles my kernel, and then I can reboot and I can run my kernel. So it's that quick to compile a kernel and run a kernel. So that compiles everything. As a matter of fact, I don't have object files or make files. I just, as a matter of fact, my kernel, you're going to laugh at this, it's just include, these are not headers. These are not headers. These are code files. So the way that you compile is you just include. Anyway, no make files, no linker. It's like doing an a.out pretty much. Anyway, so I was giving a demo. I was giving a tour of the command line commands. Let's look at the doc dump. Okay, so if I say FS is your task register. What? Not task register. It's the address of your task record. So 7F, you'll look up, if you look up on the window in the upper corner, 7F, blah, blah, blah. It's not stack. As a matter of fact, mem BIOS rep, we don't use paging. We use paging, but it's identity mapped. And so this is the physical memory. And guess what? That's the virtual memory as well. Isn't that weird? So you got to get, people come here with preconceived conceptions that 7F is stacked. No, it's not. It's just a slab that it chops off the top of the slab of memory at first. Anyway, so FS is the FS segment register, and that's pointing to your task record. Anyway, so if we dump FS, we get some stuff. Now if we say doc dump FS, now it's a live widget, and the task record, something's being changed in there. Now we can say doc. That's just doc dump FS comma size of, I think we can say size of FS. That it's a pointer to a task record. Okay, we can't say that. Oh well, I wonder why. It's a pointer. I don't know. Anyway, so this is the CPU registers are being stored in here. It updates, the screen updates 30 times a second no matter what. All the time, no matter what. The whole screen gets updated 30 times a second. And the reason that's good is because what's the worst case for graphics? This is the worst case for graphics, isn't it? We have a full screen and we're updating 30 times a second. So guess what? Why not just update the whole screen 30 times a second all the time? So the worst case is what we optimize for. So we don't have invalidate rectangle and stuff like that. So anyway, let's look at the rest of the command line. Okay, now one colon is a drive letter for the boot drive. It's just, I figured, I kind of made a mistake. It looks like a C++ global scope, but that's not the intent. It's supposed to be, it's easier to type double letters than it is to type different letters. And so I just made double letters. You need a colon anyway for the drive, and I just said colon is the boot drive. That's just the boot drive. You don't change drives like in DOS. In DOS you would say B colon, and here you say drive B. Actually you say, you can change drives in the change directory command. You can specify a drive. There's no path. If you think about it, it doesn't make any sense. We don't do that. If we want to execute a program, we go to games, and then that's how you execute or you hit an icon, or anyway. So there's no path. What else? Let's see what else we have. So the editor is ed. Find is like grep. Find in a directory. Let's see. The file manager. If you hit Control D, you get a file manager. This is a death trap. Anyway, be very careful. But you can use it to. Anyway, it's like no railings. Anyway, so find, that's grep. Line report. Let's do line report. So this is we have tree widgets at the command line. So there's